Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Juan the Yarn Addict and I'd like to welcome you to my variety show. So my variety shows are ones where I put bits and bobs of different things into one video for you to watch and enjoy. For today I have a WIP'n It with Juan and a Facebook Marketplace yarn haul to share with you. So if that is of interest to you, please sit back and enjoy the video. Before we get started, please remember to hit the like button, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already, and then of course share the video. I would definitely appreciate the support. So, before we get started on anything, we have a question of the hour that needs to be answered. What's in the mug? And we have Dunkin' Donuts hazelnut coffee with caramel macchiato creamer. It's one of my new favorite shirts. Here's the mug, filled with all the little doggies. Love that. And then on the inside here we have dog lover. Love that. My only qualm with this mug is that I would prefer it to be a little larger. It's a nice size, but wouldn't it be nice if it were larger and it would hold more coffee and all the things? Anyway, I've been sipping on it as you can see, so we're gonna move on. I think what we're gonna do is start with the Facebook Marketplace yarn haul. So I saw this ad yesterday and I got super excited because it was all discontinued vintage variegated yarn. It was only supposed to be 15 skeins for 20 bucks. I thought that was a deal and a steal, so I reached out. She was available, and so I went and picked it up, and as I got there, I got a message from her saying, hey, I found more yarn, are you interested? And I said, well, that depends. I'm on my way. So I show up, she brings me into her house, and across her dining room table were all these yarns. I mean, it was filled. And I said, okay, well, I don't know if I'm interested in all of it because about half the table was pink. And I mean powder pink and all the dusty rose pink from yesteryear and all the things. And I said, you know, that whole section, you can have that. But this section here, I'll take it and I'll see what I can do with it. So let me show you the things. She only took the 20 bucks and I offered her more and she said she did not want it, that I was doing her a favor by taking it off of her hands. So perhaps I'm going to be paying some of this forward. So stay tuned. All right, so let's dig in. Here's the first bag. Okay. Here's the second bag, a Lion Brand bag. And here's the third bag. So what was only supposed to be this one bag turned into 3 bags. So I'm going to start with this one. Now, I know what's inside this bag, and it's not my favorite yarn by any stretch of the imagination, but she said that if I wanted this bag, I would have to take what's inside. So I have to show you this. I can't believe that I accepted this under these conditions. I'm just saying. So, ow, it burns, it burns. So 3 skeins were in this bag. It was worth it for this bag. So anyway, this here is Red Heart Baby Sport Pompadour yarn. I'll give you a close-up view of that. The colorway name here is called Rainbow Sherbet. And let me see here. It's a 6-ounce skein, 170 grams. No yardage, nothing of the sort. Let me see here. We have machine washable and dryable. It's 90 acrylic and 10% olefin, which I'm guessing it are these little bits that we're seeing across the yarn there. Again, I don't really see anything for yardage, but the suggested hook size is a 4mm crochet hook, US letter G. Right, so there you have it, 3 skeins. This is going to be for you guys. I wanted this, and so I plan on taking these dowel rods out, which I'm kind of doing it right now. I'm going to take this whole thing and throw it right in the washer. So I guess I'll sit this over there. All right, so these skeins here are going to be for the channel. I will show them again perhaps in the next live and maybe put them up for a replay giveaway or something. I'm not exactly sure, but I have no desire to work with that yarn, but I really wanted the bag, so I think it was a nice trade-off. It's the pink for me. I like the mint green, I love the purple, I love the white. But the pink, not so much. Again, there's tons of people out there that love this color, and I love that for them, and I want them to have this. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Make sure your notifications are turned on so when I go live and I give this away, you raise your hand so I know that you're interested. All right? So next we're going to jump into this Lion brand bag. Here it is. Again, I'm here for the bag. I really like it. For me, this would make a really decent project bag or a travel bag. Like if I'm taking a trip somewhere and I have full skeins to bring with me for a project, I would more than likely put it in a bag like this, and then the actual project into another bag. Looking around to see if I have one readily available, and I do not. But something that zips across the top or snaps. So let's dig in here. I know there's lots of misfit yarns in here, and if you haven't been around the channel for a while, I have what's called share yarn and misfit yarn. Misfit yarn is, well, they're yarns that have no label, like this, but all yarn is good yarn. All yarn is usable. It's just how I classify, like a skein like this, which is a share yarn. It's intact, you have the label, you know what it is, you know the makeup and everything. Here, you don't really know the name of the colorway. Just by looking at it, you know it's a medium 4-weight yarn. More than likely, a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, but you really don't know the details of the yarn. So this is like a misfit yarn. So, yeah. Misfit yarn. I want to say, I don't even want to guess because I think I'm wrong, because I was getting ready to say Icelandic, but I have some up there and it doesn't look like this. So I don't want to guess the name of this, but definitely variegated. I don't know if it's vintage or not. By the looks of it, it looks vintage, but I'm not really sure. So let's dig in more. Here we have Lion brand Thick and Quick and the colorway Fisherman. It's like a cream. Super, super nice. So some of these I know right off the top of my head because I've worked with it so much. Yeah, that's Fisherman. And let's see here. We have a bunch of these peculiar yarns. Let me see here. Peculiar, right? So this is Red Heart Boutique Sachet Metallic yarn in various colorways here. So ribbon yarn. We have one share and a few misfits here. We don't know the colorway names. Golden, and I guess we can just make up names for these. Or we can go online and look them up. But anyway, sachet, that's going to be for the channel. I'm going to put that over there. Next, we have Bernat Baby. And let's see, this is called Antique White. This is a super fine number 1 weight yarn, and they suggest a 3.25 millimeter crochet hook. Wow. This is machine washable and dryable. It's very soft, very, not so squish, but very, very soft. It's 100% acrylic. There's 247 meters in this 50 gram skein. Really, really small. 1.75 ounces. And let's see, 247 meters, 270 yards. So there you have it. That's definitely for the channel. I may actually use this yarn for fundamentals of crochet. So I'm putting together a video showcasing different yarn weights. And I'm not sure if I have a 1-weight yarn readily available. So I may hold on to this and then give it to the channel later. All right. Next, we have some what appears to be clothesline. That's nice. This would make a great like plant hanger or, yeah. So there's that. I may actually hold on to this. I'm going to hold on to this too. All right. We have some more sachet yarn. Someone told me that if you took the yarn and you separate it, it's like there's like a web. Let's take a look and see. I'm curious. Oh, look at that. I didn't know the yarn did that. That's pretty awesome. I wonder if they all do that. Let me see. I'm curious. Oh, wow. What do you know? That's pretty awesome. Not sure if you can see that, but yeah. This yarn is like webbed yarn, like webbed ribbon yarn. That's pretty awesome. Not for me though, but pretty awesome nonetheless. Wow, so shiny. Look at that. That's pretty awesome. I have no idea what it is, so it's definite misfit yarn. This kind of reminds me of that gouache yarn that I was showing the other day, but in purple, but I'm not sure if it's the same thing. It definitely feels different. Show you that again. Silver, metallic, very nice. This is going to be for the channel. All right. Next we have we have a bulky number 5. This is, wow. It's got dots and bits and bobs and all the things. Definitely for the channel. Ooh, this is nice. We have some white yarn, medium 4 weight, nice and plump and thick. Great for the channel. We have some more of that. You know what this feels like? This feels like Stylecraft Aran yarn. That's what this feels like. Both of these. Very nice. We have some more Bernat Baby, but in light blue. This is, I guess, a partner to this. Same specs, same everything, but light blue. Actually, it's called baby blue, not light blue. So there's that. And we have 2 more skeins. This one here needs help. It's leaking. It needs 911. So there is that. Last but not least in here, we have some more of that sachet yarn, but we have some sequins. Very, very nice. What color are those? Like bronze. It's like a bronze sequin. Interesting. Okay, so the yarn for the channel will go in the bag, just like this. And I'm probably going to give it away just like this. Bag and all. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. I'm going to set this over to the side. We still have another bag to go through. So out of all of that yarn thus far, this is what I'm holding on to. This, and this. All right. Let's get into this. I'm just going to rip it. Now, she told me that the vast majority of everything in here are just 2 colorways. So we will see. And I got super excited about this because of this colorway right here. I spent so much time trying to figure out the name of this colorway because I have the yarn, none of which have ball bands. But here it is. The colorway of this yarn here is called Sage Mary. I had no idea. I spent so much time looking through all the yarn and I just could never find it. And when I saw it online, I said, you know what? Even if it was $40 for this bag, I would definitely go up there and at least look at it. So yeah, Sage Mary. And that is spectacular. I absolutely love, love, love this colorway right here. Almost as much as this. So Sage Mary is the colorway name here. We have the gold band, it's vintage. And let's see, it's a 6-ounce skein, 170 grams. The skein ball band here suggests a 5mm crochet hook. It's machine washable and dryable. We don't really have any yardage on here, but there's that. And I'm just going to pull the skeins out. I don't really know how many I have because, as you saw, this is the first time I'm opening the bag since picking it up. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me just set this up here. 7, 8. This might actually be enough for an Afghan. So we have 8 of the Sage Mary. And it looks like everything else in this bag, wow, it's all the same colorway, aspen print. And I remember doing a cake and coffee with you guys the other day, and I held a cake and I said, you know what, I'm not exactly sure the name of this colorway. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, aspen print. So I have this yarn, well, some of this yarn in stash. So to have a bunch of this is a definite, for sure, Afghan. Let me see. 6 ounces, 170 grams, no yardage, aspen print. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, Matt. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that for 20 bucks. I mean, this is unheard of. You just don't get all of this for 20 bucks. So anyway, I'm actually more excited about this yarn than I am about that. I mean, it's exciting. I love that. Lowercase excitement here. Uppercase excitement here. Look at this skein. Isn't that beautiful? And when I talk about purple, I can only imagine the pink luggers talking about their pink the same way I do about purple. And I can respect that. I can totally get it. But yeah, that's a lot of skeins for 20 bucks. Can't beat that. So anyway, I'm just gonna pack this all back in here. That's the yarn haul. And that's a deal and a steal, if you ask me. Yeah. So it's always good to check different places. Like go to Goodwill, see if they have yarn. Check Facebook Marketplace, see if they have yarn. They almost always do, but be vigilant. Go back, keep checking. Every now and then you'll find a deal and a steal, you know? And I do strongly encourage that if you're going to use Facebook Marketplace to make a purchase for yarn, always bring someone with you if possible. Just for safety purposes. I had an experience one time where I went to go pick up superwash merino, and it was one of those situations where they advertised one price for the yarn. I get there and they said, oh, I made a mistake. And so, like, yeah. The yarn that I was supposed to pick up for a certain price didn't happen, and all the things. So anyway, take someone with you if you're going to use Facebook Marketplace to make purchases, just to be on the safe side. All right. I'm going to take a sip of the coffee. And now we're going to work on the WIP. So I have the birthday blanket here. Where is my hook? Me and these hooks, I'm telling you. So I have my Furls Odyssey 6.5 millimeter US letter K hook. I had another one here. I was working this up with a burgundy one, and the neck was elongated, and I really enjoy working with that one as well. Here it is. Sorry, field trip. I'm going to show you the difference between the necks of these hooks. They're both the same size hook, 6.5 US letter K. They're both Furls Odyssey hooks. The neck on this one tapers out very slowly, whereas this one goes straight down and then tapers out. Believe it or not, they work up the same size as far as stitches are concerned, but for me, this works more smoothly than this one. Smoother. So yeah, I am going to work with this one. All right. Okay, so birthday blanket underway. The goal is to have this done by the 31st of July, which is my birthday. I started this July 1st of last year, and I was supposed to only have this on the hook for 30 days. And that never happened because I decided to put everything else on the hook. Literally. I had project after project after project, and before you know it, my birthday came and went. And a few months later, I said, wait a minute, whatever happened to my birthday blanket? And ever since then, I've been playing catch up. So, yeah. I am down to 5 skeins of Red Heart with Love. There it is. And I am complementing that yarn with this one. And this is Loops and Threads Soft Classic in the colorway Charcoal. This is an older skein. This is Craft Smart. Craft Smart and Loops and Threads, same company, different ball band. Anyway, I'm not really too concerned with how many of these I'm using because I have plenty of these in stash. The goal here is to get through all of this yarn and then I'm finished. So wherever that takes me is kind of where we're going. So stay tuned for the finished birthday blanket. Hopefully I can get this done by July 31st. I'm really hoping. And, you know, if not, as I mentioned before, I'm going to give myself grace. We have to, you know, especially with life. You know, we all have responsibilities that may take us away from our craft, and I feel that's perfectly okay. So, you know, it is what it is. We can set goals for ourselves and try to work towards them, but if we don't meet those goals, we have to be okay with it and adapt and change the goal and make it more attainable. So that's my goal, to just give myself grace if I don't make it. I'm going to work very hard to get this done, but I will tell you it's taking forever to get around this blanket. Now see, with this hook here having that longer neck, the cadence of working these stitches are much easier. However, it slips. There seems to be no bevel on this hook, which is what I look for when I choose my crochet hooks. If there is no bevel, or if the bevel is very shallow, I know that my stitches are going to slip, like it just did. This one has the bevel, but the neck isn't the same. I wish I had that neck on this hook with this bevel. That would be the perfect combination between the two. Do I have a 6.5 millimeter Shuma hook? So this is, I got these from Hobium. These two are a 6. What is this? That's an 8. And that's an 8. Nope. These have long necks and bevels, but I don't have a 6.5, so that's out. Okay. So with this one having a tapered neck, it doesn't flow the same as the hook that I just had in my hand, but the stitches don't fall off the hook the same way, so I don't have to worry about that. It's just my cadence. I have to really pay attention to the way that these stitches are flowing. But yeah, once I get used to the hook, I'm fine. Anyway, how are all of you guys? I'm all these minutes into the video and I forgot to ask, how are all of you guys? I hope you guys are well. I'm doing good. Trying to keep it together, you know. Birthday month has been very busy between you know, work life and being a caregiver and running a channel. It's been very, very busy, but I'm very thankful for having, you know, all the things on my plate to do, you know. It makes time fly and I really enjoy that. So, yeah. I blink and then all of a sudden it's Saturday night date night with JTYA. It goes from Sunday to Saturday in the blink of an eye. I love that. So the only downfall to that is that all of a sudden it's my birthday. Like, it just feels like, for some weird reason, like it just does not feel like July. It feels like the months have just flown by. I don't know. And then there's moments where I just feel like it's going so slow, we're waiting for water to boil. I don't know. Anyway, I have to tell you, I feel very accomplished having these Tuesday challenges. Like, I decided to do them for my channel because I had all these big projects and I really didn't feel like I was accomplishing anything. So I said, you know, let's create these little projects so that we can feel better about being productive. And I have to tell you, it's really helping, you know? I made a few bags. I made an entire sweater. Yes, I made a whole sweater with Caron 1 pound in espresso. It took the entire 1 pound of brown yarn and then 5 skeins of Earth and Sky. And I have just a little bit left, enough for a few hexagons. So, yeah, I wouldn't have been able to accomplish that had I not set the time aside for Take a Challenge on Tuesday with JTYA. So it's really benefiting me as well as those who are watching and taking on these challenges. It's just a lot of fun, you know? It's just that time of year where, you know, we're taking it easy, we're just enjoying life and all the things, and, you know, for me, I'm really enjoying it. So I'm very curious when we're going to have repeats week. So as of right now, we're on week 8 of Taco Tuesday with JTYA. So each week we drew 4 challenges. So right now we have 32 challenges that we've completed, like, well, including the current ones. So I'm wondering, do we wait until week 10 and we have 40 in total to do repeats week? Or should we just wait until next week to do it? I'm not sure. But I feel like if we wait too long and we have all the challenges in the jar, it's not, I mean, I guess it's just going to get lost in the mix. There are a few challenges that I really would love to do again. And I feel like if we wait too long, we may not get that. We may not be able to pick that one because there's so many in the jar, you know? I guess it is what it is. I could always just do it for myself on the side without having to pick it out of a jar, you know? There's always that. So maybe I'll consider that. I really want to do another vintage make. That's what it is. I really, really love looking at vintage patterns, the colors. I mean, I always talk about it, but reading a recipe and creating my own recipe based off of inspiration from like 40 years ago, it's amazing. I absolutely love doing it. And yeah, so I want to definitely do that again. And the current week that we're in right now, one of them is an astrology make. So make something that represents your astrology. So that could be the colors, like a fire sign. It could be Chinese astrology. It could be Western astrology. It doesn't matter. So the possibilities are endless. And when I went online to look at all the things, I mean, I found myself in a rabbit hole. Not a literal rabbit hole, but like in a rabbit hole, looking at all the different things. I'm like, should I make an ami? Should I make a scarf, a hat, a bag? I mean, yeah. And then you start looking at all the recipes and you're like, so out of all these, which one should I do? I don't know. And, you know, it's one of those things where I'm going to have to be decisive because if I don't decide soon, time is running out. Before you know it, Tuesday will be here and I won't have anything to present for that particular one, you know? That being said, we're one day removed from Taco Tuesday and I have one done. I have one almost finished and I still have this astrology one that I'm stuck on. I'm like, do I do the symbol? Do I, you know, make a lion because I'm a Leo? I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to give myself until tomorrow. Like if I don't have a decision done by tomorrow, then I'm going to put all of my ideas on a card and then I'm going to throw them into a jar and randomly pick one. And that's the one I'm going to make myself do because I couldn't decide. You know, time is of the essence. So that's kind of how I'm going to just do what I need to do to get the job done. Because I really want to do it. And that's the only reason why I'm making myself do it. So, yeah, that's fine. Now, there's another one in here that I'm really excited about, and it's the over-the-shoulder bag. Now, when we first picked it out of the jar, I was not excited about it. But then I thought about double dipping, like taking one of the cards and smashing it up against another card. But we already have that happening. So we decided to take the 2-bit granny card and run it with the over-the-shoulder crossbody bag. So the bag has to be a 2-bit, which is 2 rounds, 2 rounds, 2 rounds of a granny square. And so I decided, okay, well, I can do a 2-bit over-the-shoulder crossbody bag in fire colors. That's a triple dip, isn't it? Yeah. So that was an idea. And then I said, well, maybe that's too much dipping. Maybe I should like separate some of these. So I decided to not use the fire sign colors, and I went with my favorite season. And I think that's the reason why I didn't use the fire sign colors, because the card of the 2-bit granny said you had to use the colors representing your favorite season. So yeah, I guess I wasn't able to do that after all. Sometimes it helps to just talk the things out, you know? I don't know. Anyway, I'm very excited about the challenges for this week, as I was last week. Last week, we had one that I was super excited about, that I got it done the same day of our live. So as soon as the live was over, I literally went into the squirrel's nest and crocheted my coasters. I did. I crocheted my coasters. They're right here. I showed them yesterday on the Tuesday live, and I really like them. They're plain. I mean, they're nothing to write home about. I didn't reinvent the wheel, but they're cute. Maybe orange wasn't the color of choice, but summer coasters, you know? Yeah. My first instinct was to do like taupe and brown, or just 2 shades of brown and maybe throw a dark purple in there. But I didn't want to be predictable. I said to myself, what color could I use that people wouldn't think that I would run to at first? And it would have, to me, it was orange. So I went ahead and picked the orange, and it's definitely not a color that I would run to first. So, I mean, I had so much fun, especially switching the colors, like with the borders and everything. So like, for 2 of them, we have solid borders, and then the other 2, we just did a flip-flop. So the inside became the outside, and the inside here became the outside here. So I had a lot of fun crocheting these, and they feel great, believe it or not. As soon as you throw them in the washer and the dryer, they morph into something that's actually workable. It's actually pretty soft when you wash it and dry it. So there's that. I'm sure you guys all know that though. But I will tell you, it's rough stuff coming right out of that skein. You know, I've given it nicknames. Peaches and concrete, you know, that whole thing. It's very rough stuff. But like I said, when you put it in the washer and you put it in the dryer and you make sure to include fabric softener somewhere in the mix, it comes out great. I'll give it that. I will give it that. I have to tell you, Pima cotton is some really, really soft cotton. It's really, really nice to crochet with. It's nice to touch and feel. I just wish it was more accessible, you know? It's not readily available everywhere. Like, I can't go to Michael's and pick up Pima cotton. You know, you have to order that stuff, and the cost isn't the same as Peaches and Concrete, you know? But they do have other alternatives. So like bamboo, a great alternative. It's nice and soft. A lot of times it's ran with something like half bamboo, half acrylic, half bamboo, half polyester. So you have your mixes, but at the end of the day, it's still really, really soft. It's softer than Peaches and Concrete. Anyway, with the summer in high full force here, at least in my neck of the woods, I'm starting to look at all of the lighter yarns, the DK weight yarns, the cotton yarns, the cotton blend yarns, and I'm having so much fun working with them. I don't really get a chance to play with those cotton yarns as much because most of my year is spent with wool blends and acrylic blends and, you know, 4 weight and 5 weight, sometimes 6 weight. So it's really nice to be able to play with DK weight yarns. And I mentioned the other day that for the first time I'm crocheting a blanket using DK weight yarn. And while I have touched many a blanket of DK weight and I've shown plenty of DK weight blankets, I've never crocheted one myself for myself. And I'm very excited about that. I'm using my own pattern, Timber Trails, and I do have the tutorial, as I always say, on my channel for both left and right-handed crocheters. And I also have a pattern on Ravelry for that. So yeah, if you're interested, check it out. It's a very easy 6-round repeat. But I'm using that pattern with Lion Brand Mandala in the colorway Satyrs. And I'm working on it little by little. Like every day I'll put a round or 2 on it and then I'll sit it off to the side. Just because I have like this that I need to work on. I have the Annie M blanket that I'm working on. Annie M is also 1 year old. Well, she's 13 months old. I started Annie M in June. I started this one in July. I just have to get these off the hook and then I'll feel so much better, like a weight's been lifted off of my shoulder. Lesson learned though, like when you do long-term projects, try not to have too many long-term projects because the weight of that, it slows you down. You think about it, you know, big picture, and you're like, oh my goodness, I have all of these big long-term projects. When am I ever going to be able to get them done? So you divide and you conquer, and you still feel overwhelmed because you really feel like you're not moving the needle on those projects. So it got to a point where I had to tell myself, Juan, just keep stitching. It will eventually get done. As long as I stop creating new projects on the back end, just keep progressing forward as slow as it may be. I have to keep thinking the tortoise and the hare, like, you know, because what we do, it's considered like a slow art. And it's not something that is one where we have immediate gratification. It's a process. And while I'm okay with that process, it's just overwhelming having all of the things, you know? So I'm going to create like a little standard for myself after I knock out all these projects that I should have no more than like 2 or 3 long-term projects. And I say that because I'm also knitting, and knitting is not fast either. So, you know, maybe 1 long-term knit project and like 2 long-term crochet projects. And I won't show them like on every podcast, but they'll always be off to the side. And when I make progress on it, I will show it. I think that's what I'm going to do going forward. But I have to get these done first. So anyway, I think what I'm going to do is I am going to, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Am I at the end of the round? Yes, I am. Right here. Okay. So I'm going to make it to the end of the round, and I think I'm going to call it from there. And yeah, so hopefully by the next time you see this blanket, it will be either done or almost done. I hope it'll be done. So yeah. Anyway, as I wrap up here, I'm just going to say, you know, please be sure to do all of the things. If you came this far into the video, hopefully by now you've enjoyed what you've been watching. And if that's the case, make sure to hit the like button. Consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. And then, of course, share the video. I would definitely appreciate that support. All right, so that is all I have for us for this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.